Hello out there. My name is Eric, and welcome back to Perspective Gaming, and welcome back to the Inheritance of Crimson Manor. We are continuing to explore this fancy mansion, looking to find the will and figure out what exactly is going on with the Fountain of Youth that Hadley Strange may or may not have found. And let's get exploring. We just opened this new room and explored a little bit before I couldn't find a cliffhanger to end on. All we really know is I can't solve that puzzle yet. Gardener's log. This situation is wearing my patience. Burying pets in the courtyard is simply not part of my job. I would have no problem doing it once or even twice, but this is the sixth pet whose grave I've had to dig. I don't know what happened to these animals, and I don't really want to know. Nevertheless, I'm happy to know that it will not be a true end for these little friends. They will once again feel the freshness of water and the warmth of the sun in the form of extraordinary tulips. You know, whatever works for you, man. Let's see. Private room? Ah, okay, this is where these little guys are. What items do I have? Key and cog. I haven't been down here. Wine cellar. What does that mean? What does the clunka mean? Is it locked or barred? Doesn't seem to be that item. Who is it locked in there? What the heck? Inside the bottle sealed with a cork. All right, now we're just getting obtuse. Chocolate cake mix, prepared coconut, pecan frosting, vegetable oil, large egg, something sweet. Do you really need a recipe for a cake made of a package of cake mix and pre-made frosting? Can you just follow the directions on the box? Another one of these. The secret ingredient. The secret ingredient is man. Royal Recipes book. So I still find... how am I going to finish the gala banquet if that incompetent butler doesn't get me wine bottles to marinate the veal on time? I don't understand why Mrs. Strange entrusted the basement and wine cellar keys to that trickster James. He is the one who gets drunk on the sly every night, but very soon he will get what he's deserved. All right. It is said that revenge is sweet, but in my case it will be spicy, very spicy. All right, that's less concerning than I initially assumed. Look everywhere, look everywhere. Nope. That is still really weird. I still find it strange that there's all these pulp novels everywhere, but we aren't really getting any, like, buried bodies and big secrets yet, aside from a few dead pets. Mr. Thomas has cellar's cleaning schedule. So the butler cleans it on Wednesdays and Fridays. And the housekeeper cleaned it every other day. Housekeeper. Touch the machinery. The Lost Fountain. Well, that one feels more appropriate. Yeah, I'll take a gear. That sounds good to me. Nothing. Hello. Anything. Everywhere. All at once. Oh! 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 Where do we go? Damn! She went to the seamstress to buy him some linen, but when she came back, the dog was a-spinning. Got the spins. Dress in flesh. Oh, that's a great picture. That's so good. They really went to the effort to theme. I mean, the creators, that would be pretty easy, but I mean, like, what does it say about the characters that someone went around and themed all of their rooms to have a related murder mystery in there? Line of a beautiful crimson dress. That is very nice looking. It seems to be incomplete. Does it need a gear? No. I'm sure it needs like a gemstone of some kind. That was not what I expected to enter in that room and see. That was pretty. Unlocked this room. Okay, so we've got a shortcut back here now. No, we can't use the gear to rotate the key that's already in there. That's not a crank. Oh, these didn't keep. The chimney. I probably should have looked to find that, but it's whatever. The crank. Okay, that makes that easy. Dancing bears, painted wings. Nope. Crank it all the way back. 1, 2. 1, 2. All the way back. Oh, this is a nightmare. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. All the way around. 1, 2. All the way back. Hopefully we get it right on the first guess and don't have to do this again. 2. Okay. Musical box ballerina. Ballerina of a musical box made of metal and fine white and red marble. Cool. I don't recall a music box either. Let's keep wandering and see if we can find something else. Oh, there was this. There we go. That's where that went. Folds up into there. That opens and gives me a Crusader Knight figure. Cool. So that's gonna go back over here. Need a bunch more of those, but that's something at least. This has been really fun. I really enjoy just a good, fun puzzle game with a light story to kind of keep it together. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, but I'm just a huge fan of narrative. I really like to focus on story and where those things are going and how it fits together. And that's just makes it really fun for me. Oh, I need to find a room with a painting, a key behind the painting. I remember that now. Um, so like having a little story, even though this one's not super deep or anything, it's just cute. And you know, something to think about. I think we found aha. This I had forgotten entirely about this. It's been so long. Although apparently we need something else to do that there sometime. Having just this little bit of story helps me feel a little more on track, and I really do like a good, just solid, fun little puzzle game. Which this has been so far. It's neat. That's still coat of arms. I don't have anything to put in there. So, yeah. Where's that bedroom I needed to find? From the pop-up thing. I'll just keep meandering for now. I've also, just like I said before, I've appreciated how pretty this is. It's all comes together pretty nicely. It's a good, solid little package of a game. And it would have been easy to miss, so I'm really thankful for the Steam Next Fest. I'm happy that a lot more games are kind of getting the chance to shine. Indie games. I love indie gaming a lot. I also play a bunch of AAA and AA, or AAA, single A, etc. games. But my heart really goes out to the indie teams. I really just love seeing independent arts really allows for people to... Which room was this? That did not help at all. There we go. Okay, it's one that had a piano and a lamp and a bed and a chair. And there's a key behind it. I assume that's bed. Yeah, that's a bed. Green sheets. A lot of indie games, especially now that tools are getting better and better and better for making indie games. I love that we get to see stories from peoples who might not be able to get to share their artistic vision very easily in the big money market, because you need to... With big, expensive games, they've got to be safe enough to make money. They have to make that money back, otherwise the company more or less fails. And that's a huge responsibility. That's a massive responsibility. So you really can't take too many risks. You can play it a little safe, but you can do some other stuff. So like, even though this one is not especially deep so far, it's cool, and it's just something you don't get to see out of other types of games. And then you also get those smaller groups and indie games that really push the boundaries and tell stories that you can't tell because they're too quiet and calm, or because they're too strange, or too, not big name enough. Here it is, I think, maybe. Oh my gosh. Okay, crown-shaped key. Now I've immediately forgotten where all the ones that needed the crown-shaped key were. I should have been memorizing that. No matter. We'll just have to explore. I'm planning on recording here very soon. One of my very favorite games of all time, and it's an indie game. I'm going to reinstall and play Night in the Woods again and record it and talk about why I like it so much. And that's like a perfect example of like no AAA story could get away with telling what Night in the Woods does, because it's such a niche story. There's no big violence or action. I mean, there is violence and action, but not in the way that we are accustomed to in games with like big shootouts and any of that kind of stuff. It's such a quiet and emotional story. It's such a beautiful piece of art that I really relate to, but it's not at all something that a big, safe company game has to be. It's so cool to get to see those experiences and stuff. A lot of the Steam Next Fest games also end up telling stories of like, you know, queer narratives that we don't get to share a lot and all that kind of stuff. And it's so cool. I love that there's a space in gaming these days, and they've been doing great recently in representation for games that just aren't like all the big safe stuff. It was totally just this room, wasn't it? It was totally just the art room and all of those doors here. No? Lionhead. I'm embarrassing myself again. I've also seen a few people play recently, and I want to do it again. What Remains of Edith Finch, which is just another one of those really cool art games. A lot of my favorite games are these sort of emotional art games instead of, you know, like an action game or anything like that. Of course, no shrift, nothing negative against people who love that stuff. I love a lot of those kind of games, and if you have a favorite game that's you know, a Mega Man or whatever, any of those kind of things, that's awesome, and that's super fair, and I'm not trying to sell that short. It's just what I love. I just love It Was Here, wasn't it? A good story. I mean, that's why I became a literature major and went through a master's program in literature. And it wasn't because I liked old books. I don't love a lot of old books, but I love these kinds of narratives where, you know, it's interactive, and because gaming is such a unique art form. It's you know, every form of art is unique. They're all suited to different things. And that doesn't mean they're locked into that, but games are so uniquely good at having these interactive experiences where people have similar experiences. Maya and Mia Strange, same names as the sisters from Ace Attorney. Tarot cards or something. Boy, detectives. I prefer girl detectives. St. West School score report of Mia Strange, 3rd grade, 1883. Reading, writing, spelling. So she got worse and worse. Something. Why are these? Oh, month, not hour. Yeah, something was going on that was making her performance worse and worse. Man, those corsets look tight in a bad way. 2 different names, shares the same blood. 5 rotations. Here. Did it say which way? Got it. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Or I hear it clicking on that side, so it should be there. Yep. Nice. Cameo ring. Beautiful cameo ring with a fine carved relief. Okay. Let's look in... Oh, another bathroom. Is there going to be nothing here like always? Wow. That's a strong razor for white rose toothpaste. I mean, I guess women probably would have used razors for shaving various bits back in the day. I don't know a lot about women's health stuff. But I just don't tend to think of those big, huge shaving razors in conjunction with women so much as with, like, men and beards. So we got a cameo ring and learned a little tiny, tiny bit about the sisters. Where did we need a cameo ring? I'm gonna, for the sake of time... Where's the golden box in the dining room? Oh, I'm sorry, what? That wasn't what I was thinking at all. So like I was saying while I head over here and figure this weird puzzle out... Dining room, right? Dining room. Didn't that... Templars guard the weapon you'll need to advance in this quest. I would have thought that... There we go. Okay, I misinterpreted that. What is making that noise? Is it this? Okay, there we go. I was talking about games and indie games and story games. Gaming is a uniquely suited art form for telling these kinds of stories where no one has the same exact experience. The things are a little different. Okay, so we combatants all need to be equal is what it said, right? So we need to get them like opposite each other. So while I'm sorting this out and getting these all even against each other, gaming is so uniquely suited to telling interactive stories where things are very similar but not the same. They're not identical to everyone. What weapon do you have? Shielding like a hatchet. Which of our shieldy boys is the hatchet boy? That's our swordy boy from that side. And that's just so cool that there is a unique art form that where it, like, no two people experience any art form the same, but have one that is so hyper focused on everyone's experience is going to be a little different, and you can't expect everyone to have the same experience is so cool. Because life isn't experienced the same by everyone. Sword key. There's the shape of a sword. Is that our coat of arms, or is that something else? People don't experience life the same at all. It's part of why I chose like the name Perspective for both my gamertag and this channel. Everyone, everywhere has a unique perspective, and that matters so much because we can't get through this life. Like the mystery of Crimson Manor. All right, you little meta. Unique perspectives are so important to life, and none of us experience the same thing. There's 3 trillion of us, and we all have different lives and different times. A very peculiar masquerade party. The guests with a huge, graceful nose looked down from above on all the other guests in the hall. His attention was called deep down below the bottom of the hall, where a gentleman with a large green mask was talking very close to the woman at his right, with a mask and feathers adorned. This is all going to be a puzzle, and I don't have a lot of time left on this episode, so I'm going to come back to that later. But basically, I just love narratives and story, and that you can get so much different out of gaming and what it represents. Because no one went through this game the same way I did. There's linearity to it, but that doesn't mean everyone solved puzzles the same way or found things out the same way. And that's so interesting and cool to explore. Anyways, I'm running out of time for this episode, so thanks for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time and enjoy your perspectives and interacting with each other's perspectives. Feel free to leave a like or a comment or subscribe to become a main character of the channel. But whatever the case is, have an awesome, awesome day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!